What up, Bucs fans? A tough W on the road for Sunday Night Football against the New England Patriots. This here is my Week 4 reaction. I'm very disappointed in our performance, but before I get into that, if you are new here, make sure you click the subscribe button down below. I am Rami B, and I post weekly Buccaneer reaction videos. So let's get into it. If you see me looking around to the side, I have some stats up, so I want to make sure I'm saying the right information. But really, we'll get into it. 19-17 win that really did not. It was a game that we probably shouldn't have won, honestly, if I'm being completely honest. We had 380 yards of total offense. Patriots had 294 total yards with 2 turnovers. There should have been a third turnover, which was the one Shaq Barrett punched out of Jacoby Myers' hands, and we recovered. BS call by the refs. Brady was 22 of 43 for 269 yards, 0 touchdowns, 0 picks. Brady really looked off today. I don't know what had him flustered. I get it. Belichick has coached against him for 20 years and, has an understanding of how to play Brady and how to beat him. But for some reason, he definitely, Brady struggled with that. I was watching the game and wondering, how is their secondary able to contain our weapons? I get we had Gronk missing, but you still got Evans, Godwin, AB. You have Tyler Johnson. You got Cameron Brate. You got O.J. Howard. We have a lot of weapons. I don't understand how every time we drop back, it seems like we played into their game plan in terms of get rid of the deep ball, make us throw underneath. We normally don't throw underneath that much. So there's that. We also did have a lot of drops. Evans dropped a couple in the first couple of drives. Brate dropped a couple as well. AB dropped a few. Leonard Fournette on some swing routes as well dropped some. So I think Brady was victimized by a couple of drops as well. We were able to move the ball really well inside the 20s, but once we got into the red zone, it was like they took everything away. Very shocked that Brady didn't even at least have 1 touchdown in his homecoming. But again, we did get the win. The running game was much better than usual. Fournette had 20 rushes for 91 yards, and Rojo had 6 for 25 with 1 touchdown. Very effective, and I guess the Patriots knew that we didn't necessarily have a good run game, so they focused on taking away the pass, which actually opened up the run for once, since it never does for us. We always struggle in the run game. Receiving-wise, Evans was 7 for 75. Getting rid of that hole, who's the number one. He's been our leading pass catcher, I want to say, for 3 weeks now. AB 7 for 61, and he had that horrible drop touchdown at the end that would have pretty much sealed the game. I mean, the Patriots would have still had to, drive down, and they probably would have against his defense. But he had that one throw that he kind of lost in the lights and was a little behind him. And then the second one, tough catches he's made before in the past, but for some reason this one he couldn't pull it in. Had it in his hands, and it seemed like when he adjusted to get it, he kind of lost. I don't know how it was, but that would have been definitely sealed it for us. Chris Godwin was 3 for 55. He didn't get targeted as much as I was thinking. I don't know if the Patriots focus on taking him out, since he kind of is I feel like he's our punisher. Like when you least expect it, he's coming up with some clutch catches. Fournette 3 for 47 and Brate 2 for 29. Overall, a very disappointing day for the offense. I get it. We had 380 total yards. That's real good, but we've gone from, was it 9 or 10 straight 30 plus point games to now averaging, last week we had, 24, I want to say, or 21, and then today 19. Something definitely is going on, and, not sure what it is. Maybe there was a lot of emotions for Tom, and, he was really forcing things too much and trying to, really play well at home. If that's the case, and the emotions involved with that game, you saw Evans being really flustered at times and, yelling at refs and things like that, which he normally doesn't do. If that's the case, then that shouldn't happen next week against Miami, because there is no homecoming and all that emotion is gone. Defensively, though, Mac Jones was 31 of 40 for 275, 2 touchdowns, and 1 interception. Jacoby Myers was 2 for 45 on trick plays. Mac Jones, I think he had 19 straight completions at some point, which broke like a 30-year streak of, it was like a 30-year record or something crazy like that. Our rush defense, as usual, they ran like 6 or 7 times, I want to say, maybe 9 or 10 for -1 rush yards overall, I believe. Receiving-wise, Jacoby Myers was 8 for 70. Nobody else had over 60 yards in that case. We did lose Antoine Winfield to a concussion near the end of the game. We did lose Carlton Davis in special teams play, which I don't understand. He's our best corner, our only starter really left, and you play him on special teams, and it looked like he pulled a quad or hamstring or something like that. Not sure how long he's going to take. Winfield, though, did have 1 forced fumble that was recovered by Richard Sherman. And he did have 1 interception. Shaq Barrett had 1 sack. William Goldston had 1 sack. And then Joe Tryon-Shoyinka finally broke out and had 2. One of them where he creamed Mac Jones. He just ran right through him, because Vita Vea literally took out the whole right side of the line. And then he was able to get in on that stunt. But overall, defensively, I mean, we didn't play well as usual. We thought facing a Mac Jones was going to help, facing a rookie, but rookies always play well against us. But I mean, I guess it makes sense because Belichick is one of the smartest coaches out there. Next week we play the Miami Dolphins. Brady did break the record by Drew Brees. He needed 68 yards, I want to say it was, and they called it 1 yard short. Then after the timeout or the commercial break, they gave it to him, which is kind of like a weird way to give it to him. But he did pull off the W with the extra, the field goal to win it after missing one as well. I will say, though, it was like karma came back to help us. In 2017, I want to say it was, we were playing the Patriots at home, I think on Thursday Night Football, and Nick Folk missed 3 kicks, I want to say, and we ended up losing that game. And then today, he missed the game winner in New England. So it's like Nick Folk is like allergic to beating Brady by kicks or something like that. Our secondary looks horrible. Richard Sherman was getting picked on a little bit. He didn't have the best game, but I mean, he's only practiced for what, 2-3 days. He's only been on the team since like Wednesday, I want to say, maybe Tuesday. So really, how much will he know of the playbook and things like that? But I think he did help out obviously better than D. Delaney or some of the other players that we've had in the secondary. I expect him obviously to grow more comfortable moving forward. We're playing the Dolphins, who don't have the same coaching prowess that the New England Patriots have, so I think Richard Sherman will be able to play a little bit better. I know Sean Murphy-Bunting has been out now for 3 weeks, and I think he's eligible to come back in 3 more weeks. I believe it's 6 weeks for the IR thing now. Jamel Dean, I know they were saying he may have been able to play, and he's practiced a little bit, so hopefully he's back next week, if not in 2 weeks. Carlton Davis, who knows how long. JPP, I know he has a shoulder thing. You'd think he'd only be out maybe 1 or 2 weeks max. Carlton Davis, depending on the severity, should be back. So I feel like in a month and a half, we may be back to full health on defense, but it's definitely not looking good, and it's looking like we may have to trade for another player. We're playing Jacoby Brissett next week. The week after, we're playing the Eagles and Jalen Hurts, and then we're playing the Saints, I want to say, which is going to be a tougher game. We may need our secondary back for that. But yeah, very frustrating game, very close. I thought it was going to be a blowout, but I guess I was wrong. I probably shouldn't have thought that because, like I said, we are going to New England, the team that's very familiar with Tom. I don't expect Tom to struggle this much next week against the Dolphins, or really most weeks. I mean, he's playing, again, one of the best defensive minds of all time. And yeah, we pulled it off. We're 3-1 now, officially. Every team in the NFC South has lost. The Giants they came back and beat the Saints. The Dallas Cowboys beat the Panthers, and the Falcons lost to, I don't even remember who they lost to. The Washington, I think, the football team. So we're 3-1, tied with the Panthers in terms of record, but I think we have the tiebreaker since we beat Dallas and Dallas beat them for common opponents or whatever. So we are technically in first place in the division. Again, a win is a win, regardless of how ugly or how pretty it looked. It means the same thing in the win column. We still have a lot of work to do, especially offensively, figuring out the groove that we were in before. I mean, losing Gronk shouldn't have made that much of an impact in terms of the offense struggling. I don't expect us to struggle as much against Miami. I think we are playing in Tampa, and Miami is a team that does have a pretty good defense, but Tom has played against them for 20 years and has some kind of familiarity. But yeah, a win is a win, 3-1. Happy to be 3-1 after this game, first quarter of the season. Same record as we had last year. The Rams got destroyed by the Cardinals. It looks like the Cardinals are the real deal. Dallas is looking good again as usual. So it's going to be definitely interesting. We still have, 13 weeks left in the season, so there's still a lot of time for changes and things like that. But we'll see what happens. Comment down below what you thought of today's game. Were you happy that we pulled off the W regardless of the way we did? Or what are some things you think we need to improve on? So yeah, that being said, thank you for tuning in, Bucs Nation. Let's go Bucs. Let's keep stringing out these victories. Let's win the next 2 for sure against the Eagles and Dolphins. Let's pull another one out against the Saints. But it's definitely going to be an interesting season. And yeah, thanks for tuning in. Let's go Bucs, and until next time, I am out.
Let's go! You a Buccaneer fan? Let me know. Let me know. We about to win this thing at home. Let's go! Buccaneers.